Are you ready for your first headliner of the evening? Ladies and gentlemen, he's from Grand Rapids. You can listen to him on the Bob and Tom Show, and he is a contributing writer to Jimmy Fallon. Ladies and gentlemen, a big, warm second, I'll welcome Dave Dyer.
Thank you, folks. Kevin Kramis, our lovely host. Kevin Kramis, for God's sakes, he's still in earshot. How about another hand for my friend Sal D'Amelio? Huh? Did you see how nicely he was dressed? How important this was to him? Nice suit. I'll be outside after the show selling T-shirts. Sal will be next to me selling insurance if anyone needs it. This is nice. This is a lot more people than I called. This is going to work out better than I thought it would. This will be good. I live in Grand Rapids. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. You go over there much? Yes. Nice town. Got to be careful. A lot of cheap people over there, cheap Dutch people. Here's how you know. This is what I'm going to tell you. Be careful driving in Grand Rapids because here's what's happening now. The women have started driving on the shoulder over the rumble strips. Drives you bananas. You pull right up next to him. Get a vibrator, you chintzy bitch. You're holding traffic up. I got a whole bag of returnables I'm trying to get at the store. Let's move it. Did you find somebody who can close the deal, huh? This is good. And this is a beautiful place, the Dow Event Center, huh? Nice. Later on in the evening, it'll be known as the Saginaw County Vomitorium. So enjoy it while it's clean. I'll tell you this about myself. I'm one of 13 white males from the state of Michigan who doesn't hunt. Thank you. Mostly because I have the ADD, so that rules that shit out right there. I'm not sitting out in the woods with you all goddamn day. If you give me a weapon and I can't start shooting at something in 5 minutes, I have a lot of other crap I'd rather be doing right then. I got a finger painting I've been trying to get to, bucket of sidewalk chalk that's ready to be cracked open. I got it bad, man. My microwave isn't fast enough for me. Ever get that impatient, that pissed off at the world? If you come into my home, there's always about 3 seconds still on the microwave timer. I couldn't wait that much longer for the food to get finished. 3 seconds. You ever get so hungry you'll eat a Pop-Tart waiting for the pizza rolls to finish in the microwave? How sad is that, huh? That's like an episode of A&E's Intervention just waiting to happen because I'm shoving the Pop-Tart in my mouth like it's on a conveyor belt. Because I'm thinking if I'm not done by the time the bell rings, I don't get to finish the Pop-Tart. Had a tough time with school. Daydreaming, staring out the window all the time. Had this look on my face. I got good grades. Cheated. I've got the peripheral vision of a fighter pilot. I got caught cheating in the 10th grade. I didn't get expelled. They didn't flunk me. They moved the seating chart on me. That's what they do. They'll put you up in the front right corner so you only have one kid to go after. Friday, I'm sitting next to Dirk Weingarten, class valedictorian. Monday, Scott Rapp, the kid with a lazy eye and the short eraser. And let me tell you what. This kid's bringing you right down with him because he's got the eyes swinging over. I'm thinking he's cheating off of me the whole time. Like, nice going, hunchback. We just canceled each other out here. Do you realize that? It's tough to watch television with ADD. Some of the stuff they put on TV is brutal. Golf. Jesus Christ. It's like watching snail shit. That's the worst thing I've ever seen on TV. Horrible waste of time. Somebody explode, for Christ's sake. I would rather scorch patches of my own pubic hair with a Bic lighter than watch golf on television. Doesn't that sound like more fun, huh? Stomping out grass fires all day. Rather do that. I like game shows. I love watching game shows. Jeopardy. Any Jeopardy fans? Where are the Jeopardy fans? Yes? Thank God. Finally showing it in high definition. Did you know that? Finally. Jeopardy HD. I've been sitting at home for years going, you know what? If the picture was a little clearer, well, might know some of these goddamn answers. I like the crime shows, too. There's always a lot of good crime shows. Guys, here's one thing I've noticed. You ought to be thrilled to death about this. I've picked up on this. Over the last couple years on the crime shows, they have finally put the black light away. Right? For years, remember, that was the go-to at every crime scene. They haul that thing, they start waving around. You know what they're looking for with that. I'd sit there thinking, if my wife gets her hands on one of these things, there's going to be a hole out of the house I won't be allowed in anymore. I'll guarantee you that. That bathroom is going to look like a planetarium. Ladies, I only do that joke so the men go home and clean tonight. That's for you. That's for you. No, you go to bed, honey. I'm going to be up for another 6 or 8 hours, it looks like. Go to Sam's and get some Ajax. I like going to movies, too. When you're on the road, you go to a lot of movies. But I'll tell you what, a big factor in whether I'm going to go to your movie or not is the title. You got to have a good title. You got to ring me in, because there's a lot of horrible titles to movies out there. About a year ago, there was a Tom Cruise movie that came out called Jack Reacher. No, thank you. Jack Reacher? Come on, that doesn't sound appropriate. That sounds like something bad that happens in a locker room, doesn't it? Can't you imagine somebody telling you that story? You know what? I think I figured out why Barry doesn't go to the gym anymore. Well, I don't know the whole story, but from what I was told, he's playing racquetball one day, goes in to take a shower, some guy sneaks in behind him and gives him the old Jack Reacher. That's why he cries all the time. Every time I do that joke, there's always an old Marine in the audience going, I've had the old Jack Reacher, it ain't that bad. You just close your eyes, pretend you're somewhere else for a little while, you'll work through it. I was reading the news a little while back. There was an article in the newspaper about a woman who was 114 who died, and the last line of the article said that an autopsy was planned. Huh. Okay. Couldn't eyeball that shit, huh? Think we ought to slice her open, try to pinpoint the cause? How about you hand me the chart? I'll figure this out in about 2 seconds for everybody. Oh, I see what happened. She was born in the Cretaceous period. We'll list the cause of death as climate change. Does that work for everybody? Huh? I quit smoking because a friend of mine bet me I couldn't gain 40 pounds in 3 months. And, I won. That's what happens when you quit. Holy shit. You eat everything. Anything you can catch up to and kill, you will shove it in your mouth. 40 pounds in 3 months is what I put on. 40. And you got to be careful. You gain that kind of weight that quickly. Here's what happens. You're in such denial about the weight you've gained, you still wear all the old clothes you had from before you gained it. I had a red polo shirt that was a medium and had shrunk years ago. 5'7", 240 pounds, wearing this in public. Looked like Pooh Bear walking down the street. Your gut was hanging out the bottom. I had honey all over my hands. That wasn't helping either. Oh, was that good? So I don't smoke. I don't smoke pot either. Yeah, no shit, boo. I used to, sir. God damn it, I used to. College, Jiminy Christmas. I flunked a class I wasn't even in college. I just kept showing up, you know? God, I hope they legalize it. Oh, every comedian wants that to happen, all right? Every one of us. I want it legal everywhere. Not so I can smoke it before the show, so you people can, because this would be the easiest goddamn job in the world. I'm not gonna write jokes. I'm walking out here with a bowl of M&Ms. I could lock you people in for days. Word would spread around town. He brings snacks right on stage with him. You gotta go. About every 5 minutes, I'd just take a handful and whip them out in the crowd. It'd be like throwing food pellets into a trout pond. You would kill each other going after them. Thank God I finally lost some of the weight. Christ, I was so fucking fat for a while. Try everything, man. Diet, exercise. You get to a point where you're like, you know what? I hope I get taller. None of this shit works. Did some yoga. I don't know if anybody's done yoga. I didn't think that was paying off for it until I realized how much easier it is to wipe my ass now. And check it, which is a benefit I didn't think I'd realize. I call that position downward ditch. I bought a bike to ride to start getting in shape, and it's called a hybrid bike. It's basically a mountain bike with road tires, and but it's got this skinny little seat on it, and boy, if nothing else, I've gained a whole new appreciation for the durability of my nutsack because. About 10 miles into my first ride, I was pretty sure I'd worn a hole through it. Turns out, nope, just red, chafed, and swollen. But I went back to the bike shop to get a different seat, a softer seat. And I don't know if anybody's been to a bike shop lately, and I don't know who's elevated these bike shop guys to a higher level of society. But fuck off, it's retail, okay? Get off your pedestal. Because I walked in, I said to the guy, I said, look, I got a situation here. I gotta get a softer seat. He says, you don't want a softer seat. Yeah, I do, that's why I came in. And he goes, you don't want a softer seat. I said, well, if you have a curtain, I could show you why I think I do. Don't really want to do that in the main selling area here. And he goes, you know what's going to happen if you have a softer seat? If you have a softer seat, your ass is going to go numb. That sounds great. I think that's exactly what I'm looking for because right now it feels like a classroom of second graders are using my balls as target practice. So bring on the pillow, Lamond. My brother's a big fitness guy. He bought me what's called a wicking shirt to work out in. I don't know if you've seen these shirts, but you put it on. It's this material that sucks the moisture away from your skin. He's very adamant. It's like he's getting paid from the company. You don't want that shit on your skin. Jesus, like he stopped yelling at me, first of all. That's what I'd really like. But I don't like to wear this thing. They're very tight, and God, it makes your abdomen kind of look unpleasant, and you feel a little insecure when you got it on. But you know what? I wear it when I drink, and I found that I pee a lot less. So. I joined a soccer league to try to get in shape. Showed up at the first practice, find the coach to check in, little kids everywhere. Guy goes, did you realize this was a 6 and under team? I said, yeah, I thought they meant height. scored 46 goals in our first game. I had to get a physical recently. I don't know if anybody's had to do that, but boy, the older you get, you just lie your way through that goddamn thing and hope they stop asking questions. You having any chest pains? Well, nothing you need to know about. That's it's kind of a secret. Do you eat a lot of butter? You know, bread and steak, ice cream. They always want to know about your alcohol intake. How many drinks do you have? I don't know, 5 or 6 a week? Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know, what is that, 35 to 42? You're the guy with the fucking shingle on the wall. You figure it out. I look stupid when I get in shape anyway, because I got that hobbit body. Got this long torso, these short, squatty, hairy little legs. It's ridiculous. I have no idea what I was designed for. You ever look at yourself in the mirror and go, what the hell am I here for, huh? Carrying rocks up a hill, that's all I can figure out at this point. That's all I'm really good at. If you saw a picture of me from the waist up, you said, that guy's like 6'5". Legs down, toddler. And that's how you have to shop for this body. This shirt is an extra large. The pants, 3T. Which I don't even really mind that much because I got the buttons up and down the inseam on these things. Shit my pants at the mall a couple weeks ago. Not a big deal. There's always a woman in that family restroom going, you know what? You're too big for that pull-out table, sir. Well, you know what? There's no age limit, ladies. Snap me up, okay? Let's be part of the solution. I eat horribly. I love crappy food. McDonald's, holy Christ. Can we agree they stopped serving breakfast a little early? Huh? Come on, 10:30, come on! I love to eat shit, but I cannot eat a cheeseburger at 10:30. I could eat one at 11. But there's a half hour there where I'm lost. I walk around their parking lot with a baggie full of goldfish crackers for about 30 minutes, just wait until I feel right about things. You gotta eat better. You know why I have to eat better? This is what I started thinking. I look at all the crap I shove in my body over the course of a day. And I thought to myself, you know what? If I die tonight and they have to do an autopsy later, oh my God. My family's gonna be so embarrassed. Because they're gonna go through that report with my wife. She's gonna be out in the lobby. You know, they're gonna come out, hey, you know, ma'am, we put him on that table. You know, I would have bet my life that the gunshot wound to the chest was what did it, but, he's full of liquid cheese. I can't believe the bullet made it all the way through, to be honest with you. I'm not one of these guys who pays a lot of attention to global warming, I'll be honest with you. I don't really give two shits about that. And I think the reason is I have 2 teenage daughters. Anybody out there with teenage daughters, I'm sure you'll back me up when I say that there are a lot of days where I really don't give a shit what kind of planet they're left with. I really don't care. You want to close up that hole in the ozone layer? Put some Midol in the water supply, all right? I'll get real eco-friendly once the moods stabilize a little bit. crazy trying to raise them, at this day and age, try to steer them down the frickin' hallway because I got a phone in their face. You know that? Everything's got to be soft in the house so they don't kill themselves. I don't know what direction they're going. My oldest one, I'll tell you right now, will be thrilled if she gets to dance a couple night shifts a week. That's the way it's starting to look. That'll be a win. There's this incredible sense of entitlement that generation has. That's my oldest daughter's attitude. You know what you can do to help me? Stay out of the way. That's what you can do. Stay out. Here's what I need you to do as my father. I need you to stay out of my way, not be a roadblock. Stay out of my way and pay for everything. That's what I need you to do. I asked my oldest daughter, I said, what do you want to do with your life? She goes, I like birds. I said, did you hear the question I asked you? She said, yes, I like birds. I want to be an ornithologist. So she's not moving out. The younger one wants to own an ice cream truck. Great, good idea. So we put that one on the pill, because I see where that's going. My oldest daughter's a little quirky, a little eccentric. She was the kid who always wanted the exotic pet growing up. We never got it for her. Hermit crabs, that's as exotic as we got, you know. She was like, I want a tarantula. I'm not getting a fucking tarantula. I want a tarantula. No, I'm not doing that. I'm not gonna be the exotic pet guy. I will not be that. I hate that guy. You know those people who get into that kind of pet? Those people are really into it. They don't keep that hidden from you too long. They let you know right up front that that's the kind of shit they do, right? When you're talking about that guy, this conversation never goes like this. Hey, did you know Barry has an iguana? I've known the guy 20 years. He's never said a word about it, right? That conversation usually goes like this. You know what? If Barry mentions that fucking iguana one more time, I'm going to feed that thing some peanut butter and turn the heat lamp off, all right? Folks, if you walk away with nothing else, you've learned how to kill an iguana tonight. Take that home. They're smart. They did well in school. Both of them were part of the gifted and talented program at one time, which is great. I'm thrilled they do well in class. But you know what? I hate that title. Gifted and talented. That's very misleading. Because you know when they say that, they're only talking about smart kids. Right? You're going to call it gifted and talented. Let those kids in, right? What about the kid with the big penis who juggles, huh? You're going to tell me that kid's not gifted and talented? You try that with that counterweight swinging down there, huh? I was a kid. I was the youngest of 4 boys. I've got 3 older brothers. Only 2 of us even kind of look alike. It's pretty strange. If you line us up chronologically, you can tell when my parents were and weren't getting along. It's very obvious. I had to wear the hand-me-down clothing. That's usually not such a bad thing, but I told you I'm 5'7". 2 of my brothers are 6 foot. One of them is 6'3". So the pants fit beautifully. People would say, hey kid, you know your pants are on inside out? Yeah, those are cuffs. They're all successful. My oldest brother is an attorney. My second brother is an obstetrician. Third brother is a vice president for a company in Ohio. So it's obvious my parents got to me and said, hey, you know what? We ought to let this one raise himself. Jesus, that would free up a shitload of time. That's... You know what you do in that situation? You sabotage their reputations every chance you get. I saw some friends of my parents who hadn't seen my brothers in a while. This woman's asking questions, wants to know how everybody's doing. How is everybody? How's your brother John? I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to spare you all the gory details, but she doesn't go by John anymore. Oh my God. Well, is your brother Mark still practicing law? Well, technically. I mean, he's representing himself now, so... Well, I saw your mom, and she said your brother Andy is still delivering babies. Really? Because he's not supposed to be. I wonder if his PO knows about this. We had a good childhood. My dad was a great guy. My dad was a whistler. You know those guys? Not whistling songs, whistling at you. You know that guy? Let's go. Come on. Let's go. The language he spoke, we called it Whistlish. It was a hybrid of whistling and English. That's how he spoke all the time to you. Listen, come here. There's a pile of wood up on that hill. I want you to grab the wheelbarrow. Head up there. I need you to grab me 3 or 4 good logs, bring them here, let me check them over for you, put them behind the house, come back over here, I got some more shit for you to do. Beat it, let's move it! My brothers and I, we were like border collies. Every time he whistled, we changed direction. All right? All right, for Christ's sake, we were here, we're back here again. Every now and then, just to mess with us, he'd get us in a corner to... He was a good man. My dad passed away about 5 years ago. My dad was one of those guys, he was a product of the 50s and 60s. Grew up very stern, very strict, very stoic guy. Not a lot of emotion shown. Even as his kid, you knew he loved you. You weren't really sure if he liked you. Because the only tone he had was irritation. Every time he talked, hey, Dad. Jesus Christ, what? Yeah, what? Just wanted to see if I could help. You want to help? Stay the hell out of the way. That's how you can help, all right? Move it. Let's go. Married, 21 years of marriage. It's good, it's tough, man. My parents got divorced after 41 years. That's the longest game of chicken ever. I was in my mid-30s when my parents got divorced, right? That sucks. Not because you feel bad about it, but you can't really use it as an excuse for bad behavior at that point, you know? I mean, if your parents split up when you're 15 and you go all kinds of nutso and you take a shit on the neighbor's porch, yeah, you probably get some people who support you on that. Well, you know what? He's got a rough time at home. I'd have done the same thing. But if you're 35 and you dookie on the neighbor's landing, you better hope to God your wife's not too embarrassed to come bail you out, man, because you're going to the hooscow. It's tough, man. We went and saw a marriage counselor for a bit. We had a little bit of a rough patch, which sucks. I don't know if any of us have to do that, but goddamn, that sucks. It's expensive. And you know what you have to do in the first meeting? Self-diagnose. I want to see if you even know what the problem is, huh? You've made the appointment. You're aware that you have issues, but do you know what they are? What sets her off, Dave? What really makes her angry? Well, as far as I can tell, oxygen. And I held her underwater for a while, but stronger than she looks. There's a lot of stuff I don't agree on. Money, that's always still a big factor. One person's always a lot better with the money. My wife is the money person, because God damn it, I love to spend money. I do, I spend money like crazy. We went to see a financial planner. I don't know if anybody's done that, but let me tell you something. If life doesn't make you feel like enough of an idiot, schedule an hour with one of these guys, because there's no right answers. Guy looks at me all condescending and goes, "What are you doing to plan for the future?" I said, "You mean in addition to the escape pod I built out of milk jugs? What else would one need?" He said, "How's your 401k?" I said, "It's about $399K short at the moment." Trying to beef that up. My wife says, "You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna start keeping your receipts and we're gonna track your spending." Last month, I spent $63 on licorice. So I'm getting better. She does the online banking. I don't know if you guys prefer that, but I'm old school. I'm going into the bank. I'm going in! Because one of our tellers is so hot. I find any reason I can to get to the bank these days. I deposited 95 cents one morning. It's all there. And it's fun, because we have this little flirtatious thing that goes back and forth. I always get to her window, always get to her. I'm very good at standing in line and kind of estimating how long people's transactions will take. "No, you go ahead, man. So I can make sure I get to her window, and I always walk up and I'm like, "Hey, Kathy. Looking good today." And then she'll say something like, "Aren't you supposed to be 100 feet away from me?" Kathy. That expired 9.5 hours ago, sweet pea. I couldn't cheat, though. There's a couple in my neighborhood getting divorced after 2 years because the guy was having an affair. 2 years with the woman who lives across the street. How do you pull that shit off? As a guy, your first thought is, how the fuck did he build a tunnel in 2 years? I don't get that. First of all, I love my wife, but even if I wanted to, I'm not creative enough where I could cover that up if I cheated, because I look at it this way. She has found every Playboy I've ever bought. How am I gonna hide a live woman, huh? And like an idiot, I'm sure I'd probably try to hide the girl in all the same places. My wife would come up to me, "Well, guess what I found between the mattresses today, huh? That fat hostess from Applebee's." You know anything about that? Yeah, I know we're going back to Fridays, I know that. My wife has those two, like, real deep creases between her eyebrows. I feel bad, because I know they're kind of my fault. Because women get those creases when their face spends a lot of time going, "What the fuck did you think was gonna happen? Huh? How did you think that would fly?" Thought it would. We recently had to go to a party, and it was one of those parties where, "Oh, just bring a dish to pass. Everybody's just bringing a dish to pass. Dish to pass." And I realized on our way out the door that I should have been more involved in the dish to pass process because I asked my wife, what are we bringing? She said, hot fruit salad. What? Hot fruit salad. Oh, Jesus, you can't do this to people. She goes, yep, hot fruit salad. All defiant like that. Yep, hot fruit salad. I said, hot fruit salad? That's not a name, that's a description. That's something you say when people are like, Jesus, what the fuck is this? I don't know, it's like some kind of hot fruit salad or something. It's just... Hot fruit salad? That sounds like some old-time remedy for constipation, doesn't it? Like when you came off the battlefield, you'd be lying in the infirmary, Florence Nightingale would come up to you, you little bound up, sweetie? Well, that's okay, because we're gonna pump some hot fruit salad through you. That'll flush you out. Great. Hot fruit salad. My wife goes, don't be so dramatic. It's like pie filling without the crust. I'm like, all right, naked pie, that's what we're calling it. If you call this stuff naked pie, every guy's gonna line up twice at the party to eat this stuff. But if you call it hot fruit salad, I'm scared to death in a week. I'm gonna see my buddy Andy and he's gonna go, hey, whose wife brought the hot fruit salad, huh? I haven't stopped shitting for a week. We moved to the suburbs in Grand Rapids a few years back. And I live in one of those neighborhoods where everybody's lawn is immaculate. You know those neighborhoods? Not big, they're actually quite small, but everybody's lawns are finely manicured, very geometric. And it's like a competition that's always going on, whether you want to be in it or not. And I'll tell you what, if your lawn doesn't look good, you might as well have VD, because that's how people talk about you. One of my neighbors came over to my house last summer. He goes, hey, did you hear about Schmitty? I said, no, what's the matter? He goes, he's got crabgrass. I said, I was just eating boneless wings with him last night. He never said a word about this. Oh, come on. Is that kind of thing you go telling everybody about? Huh? I told him he's probably getting it from that single chick who lives next door to him. Have you seen how overgrown her bushes are? I got another neighbor, I'm pretty sure his kid's selling pot. I'll know for sure when he calls back, but it's looking good. There's a lot of Camaros over there, I know that. We had to work on the sex life. Every marriage comes to that point. If a marriage is gonna last a long time, it's inevitable at some point you talk about the sex life, right? Here's what you don't do. You don't go ask your single friends for advice, okay? I made that mistake, because you'll find out real quick, you're out of the loop, they're doing new shit. I talked to a buddy of mine who's single, trying to get some pointers, and he says, you ever masturbate in front of her? I said, not on purpose. She said she'd be home at like 5:30, and I wasn't thinking, and I mean, you look at it that way, you gotta really blame her. I mean, you can't just sneak up on a guy like that based on false information. It's tough, man. 20 years of marriage, 21 years of marriage. I'm still trying to convince my wife I have a big penis. Still trying to convince her of that, huh? I started calling it the iceberg because I keep telling her, you know what, there's 2/3 of this thing you can't even see. My wife went to one of those parties girls go to. You know the parties I'm talking about? Yeah. God bless her. She did buy one thing for both of us, and I'm not going to go into extensive detail, but I will tell you that it's a ring-like device that I wear. And attached to that, a vibrating device, and you Turn this baby on. It's supposed to enhance the lovemaking for everybody. Well, I stayed true to the male creed, and I didn't look at any pictures or read any instructions before I installed this thing, so I had no level of expectation about what could happen. And I turned this thing on. I was done quicker than a 12-year-old wearing silk boxers getting a lap dance. It might as well have been a trigger, you know? It's like, wow, bam, geez, that's it. That's so, show's over. Wow! I know, this is awkward. I've known you a long time. I don't have a clue what to say to you right now. I'm gonna get something to eat. That's the only instinct I have is, really like a sandwich. And it was the weirdest sensation. My whole body was tingling. My ass cheeks clenched so tight that if you slid a bar of steel into my crack, you could forge a sword. There was that much pressure. And I thought, you know what? I'm not gonna chalk this up to being premature just yet, all right? Not without some kind of an investigation, because it happened so fast, I don't think it felt good. I think it was some kind of a survivalist defense mechanism, kind of the same way an octopus will spit out ink hoping to confuse predators. I think my penis released its load early, hoping whatever had this death grip on it would let go and attack the decoy over here. There you go. Thank you. So this is my job. You know the nice thing about this job? I never filled out an application. Never had to. I remember my first job in high school, I filled out the application, had to list my elementary school. How would you like it if that's the reason you didn't get the job? You really want to take that phone call? Listen, Dave, boy, we appreciate all your interest, but holy shit. We gotta go with somebody else. No, the application looked fine. Your references all seemed to check out, but talk to Mrs. Berman, your first grade teacher. Sounds like somebody has a problem with sharing, sport. Part of a generation called Generation X. Not a very good reputation. I'm surrounded by idiots, people my age. One of my best friends is the biggest idiot in the world. He's 40 years old. You know what word he still uses? A scared. When he's telling you a story, I'll tell you what, that came up in my periph. I was a scared. I didn't know what the hell that was. I don't know, maybe it was a plate of biscotti. Is that what it was, huh? Were you at the library when this happened? Could you be more Pacific, you fucking idiot? I gotta go in a second, folks. How about another hand for everybody who's been out here tonight? Sal D'Amelio, Kevin Kramus, doing a great job. I'm gonna be outside the door right after the show if you're interested. I have a shirt that I sell after the show that says, "The iceberg. There's 2/3 of this thing you can't even see." So, I'll be out there for a little bit. I don't like getting older. Here's how I know I'm getting older. I'm watching my parents get older, which is no fun at all. You watch your parents. My mom is finally starting to slip. Jesus Christ. This past Christmas, my mom goes, "What do you want from Santa?" I said, "I told you 2 weeks ago what I wanted from Santa." How do you keep forgetting this shit? That is the worst. The conversations you have with your parents, oh man, it's just, the conversations I would have with my dad near the end of his life were the same conversations we had when I was about 6. The roles just flip around. We would go out to eat. We would walk into a restaurant. I would look at my dad and go, shh, listen, sit down right here. Right? Don't touch anything. Don't talk to anybody. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, okay? Where are your shoes? Huh? It's 50 degrees out. You don't have any goddamn shoes on. What do you want to eat? A Reuben? Not a chance, no. You'll make a mess. I am not putting up with that shit today. You're getting chicken strips and a cup of juice with a lid on it. That's it, okay? Go wash up, okay? I'm David Dyer. Thank you very much, folks. Have a great night. Thanks a lot. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave Dyer. Let him hear it. Dave Dyer, ladies and gentlemen.